Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and whatever you want to label yourself in this crazy day and age, to another episode of the IAmHipHop podcast. I am Jay, Uncle Juju St. Paul, and I am joined by the talented
L'atisse.
L'atisse. There we go. And I also wanted to, it was like my little ploy to make sure I actually got your name right as well. So, and it worked out quite well. So, a bit proud of myself. So just the usual highlights. So, the IAmHipHop magazine is available to buy through highcreativity.net to help, we do this on our half. So, go get yourself a copy. And we've hitting our big 10-year this year as well. So we've got a bumper size issue, and that's going to be coming later on through the year. And without further ado, we're now with the lovely L'atisse. So, L'atisse, let's get to know you a little bit better. So what was life like for you growing up?
Life was pretty interesting. Like most people, I moved around a lot. I grew up with my 3 sisters and a brother, so part of a nice, cozy family. And yeah, I spent most of my time in London. I spent some time in the Caribbean, which was really fun. And yeah, started dancing in my teens. And not going to reveal my age, but here we are.
And it's very rude to ask a lady for her age. I still go by them old school etiquettes. But no, that's fine. So the Caribbean. So where were you in the Caribbean?
Yeah, I lived in Dominica for a couple years. My sister's dad was from there, and my mum decided it would be a great idea to go. And at the time, I didn't appreciate it because I was young and I just cared about the cool things. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? I wanted to stay.
Why did I ever leave?
It was really cool. Yeah, why did I ever leave? Like, honestly, but it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. I was there for 4 years. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Because I'm an islander myself, so Trini and Grenadian. So I went to my first ever Trinidad Carnival back in 2018 and went back in 2019. And yeah, it's just it's an experience like no other. So yeah, and even for it's still coming back, which is just crazy. And that transition over. So you mentioned that you started dancing in teens. So what got you into dancing? I mean,
yeah. Like most kids, you want to be on TV, right? You see all these really cool videos and you see these artists and you're like, oh yeah, I can do that. That's so cool. And I was pretty shy growing up. So everything I did was in my bedroom. Like no one saw me dance. And then, yeah, I had the opportunity to do a dance show in school. And I can promise you, I was absolutely terrible. Like nothing in me could dance, nothing. So that's kind of how it started. And I realized really quickly that I wanted to do this for a living, and my parents were really supportive. But from young, to be honest, I went straight into college, did dance, and then started teaching straight out of college. So it was a bit of a slow process, but yeah, that was the foundation really.
And teaching. So after you came out of college, you were now then instructing, and you took up the mantle. So because from what I understand, it's like there's loads of different routes to go in the kind of dancing scene, like any sort of creative thing that you put into. So was it a passion of sharing your dancing and teaching, or was it just you felt innately this is my calling?
Yeah, I think it's a mix, like when you're younger, or for me, when I was younger, it was performing. I really enjoyed the feeling of being on stage and being, in a space where I could perform. And over time, like in this industry, you meet so many people, but I am really fortunate to have met some like incredible people that I'm still friends and family with now. And during that process, I started to find my own creativity and realize that I actually like working more in intimate spaces as opposed to being on stage, or I prefer to be in the creation process as opposed to performing. But that transition alone was really hard to kind of get out of my head because I was so used to performing. So for all these years, I'm like, yeah, that's my thing. I'm a dancer. And then you get to a certain point and I'm like, is that my thing? And it doesn't take away the experience at all. Like it's still as important, but making that transition was really hard, but really, yeah, it was really rewarding. So yeah, it definitely started off as performing for sure.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, because even like with any, like most creatives, when you're on a journey as a creative myself, you start to fine tune things as you go along, and it's sometimes it's like, yeah, you might have a set ambition for something, but as P Diddy says, it's one of my favorite sayings, is like, not everybody in the group can be the rapper. So it is about, it's a team, it's a collective of things, and it's like, still, like you said, the passion's still there. But the difference is with you is your teaching, and your love for the art of dancing is put you in to this amazing position where you're now working, with Sadler's Wells, and you've got your, this amazing show that's going to be coming out on, let me get the date right, from Thursday the 19th from Friday the 20th of May. But you also have a cafe, a pop-up cafe. So you've got like a lot going on around this. So yeah, let's chew into this, because when I was reading, the press release, and I think it just sounds amazing. So we've seen, I've taken a look at the clip, so I can bring that up in a second as well. The trailer for it. So where's the inspiration for this? How did you come to put this together, and how did you pick the right, team for this, from the performers and everyone else?
Oh gosh, you know what? It's been a journey, I can't lie. Like pandemic really stepped in and made this a whole different process. So I joined Sadler's Wells as a associate artist in 2018, and we started creating a theatre show for 2019. And of course, the pandemic hit, and if I'm honest, like creation, like during that time, I found really difficult. I just had to kind of zone back into my space and really figure out where I'm comfortable and what I really want to share. And to be honest, it always went back to film. And I was so fortunate enough to have Robin and Michelle, who I've been working with for the past couple of years. And they pushed me. They said, if that's what you want to do, we're absolutely going to support it. Let us know what you need. And I really didn't expect that, if I'm honest, because you think of Sadler's Wells as a performance theatre, something that's happening live. So as soon as I got the green light, I had kind of dived in and out of these ideas that I've had for some time and revisited them. And they started to look different really quickly, which is where this first film that I am putting out, called Utopia, was born. So to be honest, the kind of process of Utopia was born from the casting experience first. I had these ideas, straight away knew who I wanted to be those characters. And by chance, I mean, I'm very lucky, all of those people are in the film, which never really happens. I'm sure that doesn't happen at like Marvel standard, but it happens here. So yeah, Utopia was born from there. And I also run a company called NAVA London with my partner, and it's something separate, but it works day to day in my life. So we basically wanted to create an event where we could essentially play what music we wanted to hear at home in the club.
Yeah, that's like every DJ's dream, and I'll say that as a DJ. Yeah, it doesn't at all. It's like you've got a killer playlist, and you're like, yo, this is gonna, anyways, please continue.
Yeah.
You're singing directly to my heart here. So
yeah. So yeah, just for some clarity, my partner is a DJ, and he's, obviously I'm biased, but he's incredible. And that was where the inspiration came from. So we just basically got a bunch of our peeps and said, hey, let's do an event. And it's just continued now for about 4 years. And it's been incredible. We have built our own community, our own network. It's a mix of dancers and beyond dancers. It's really blended. So I guess the bit of a struggle that we have nowadays is getting venues, because so many events are happening. The pandemic has basically offered opportunity for people to dive back in. And also we couldn't really find something that suited to what we wanted to try next. So we thought, why not try and make our own space for creatives in our communities, where DJs and other creatives can come together and just chill, have a co-working space, just something super nice. And I thought this would just be a great opportunity to, one, make our own physically, so we're actually building in Sadler's Wells, which is a bit mental. And then, yeah, just see how it goes, really. And also I know that we have so many dancers that want to have collaborations with places like Sadler's Wells, but they just don't always feel like it's their type of space. So if we can then create a space for them to feel comfortable, then why not? So that's where the cafe area was born out of. And, hopefully in the future we can keep on doing pop-ups and expanding it and having a space for, you know, for us, by us. We don't have a lot of them in London. We do end up in other people's spaces, but if we can own our own, I think that would be incredible.
No, that is absolutely incredible. And I think it's these kind of creative spaces, because I guess we're so used to doing things online, but as much as it can connect people, it's still communicating through a device. So sometimes it's not as personal. It's very impersonal. I mean, don't be wrong, we all hustle, we've got to do what we've got to do. It's this day and age. I mean, look, we're having this will be usually something we'll do, you know, side by side or face to face, but you know, we're utilizing technology as it is. But the fact of actually creating these types of spaces where exactly people of that ilk, or even if you don't even know how to step into said world, or you might be interested or see what's going on, to create a space like that where people can actually come, like you said, chill, good music that, you know, you're not restricted to listening to as if you were to put on your regular radio or your top 100 iTunes playlist. But yeah, so because you've kind of answered it, but it's just really just like, where did that drive, because I mean, the pandemic was abysmal for especially the creative industry. We suffered a lot during that period of time. So was it born from that, was the ultimate push towards it, or was this always something that you've always wanted to create because you saw the necessity or the niche for creating such an experience?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I was always doing it before the pandemic, and you know, I would be lying to say that I struggled during the pandemic. I am fortunate enough to have a full-time job, which is a bit mental as a creative and a whole nother conversation, but I do work as an EA by day, and
Wow.
that kind of got me through and really offered space for me mentally to actually work on the things I want to do, as opposed to doing them because I have to do them or because I'm expected to do them.
Yeah.
So that was the good part about it. And, you know, the idea of this looked very different before we kind of got the final date to move into this year and create. So I really wanted to just create an experience that houses all the things that I do, because I don't know, I feel like sometimes I would struggle a little bit and say, okay, I do, you know, now I've learned how to DJ and I do photography and I was a dancer and now I do directing. And sometimes I feel like, anyway, whilst everyone does loads of things, I didn't know how to be taken seriously because I know I'm good at all of those things I do. So I thought, why don't I just house them into a space and make it work and show people, because we can do all these different things and still be great at them. And I really feel that growing up, we were kind of told to, you know, master that one thing and be great at it, you know, but there is space to be a jack of all trades. As long as you're enjoying it and you're being respectful to the art form, there's absolutely space for you to go into that. And that's really what I want to create as an experience and push for other people and make them feel welcome. I'm a people's person. So, you know, it's really for me, if I'm honest. It's really like a space, you know, it's like my dream space. But I think if everyone else can experience that with me and it gives them a little bit of space or encouragement to try new things or be a little bit braver to just put your creation out there, then why not? I mean, it's a really personal thing to create something for any artist, even as a DJ. Like if you're blending something or mixing something or finding a new track, like, you know, the moment you share that, that's no longer yours.
Yeah.
You have to offer that to other people. So I think it's such an amazing thing to do, but it can be absolutely terrifying. So the good thing about this journey is that I have brought a beautiful team in with me in all different ways, and they've taught me so much. We've all been students to each other, and we've created something really cool out of it. And I just hope that it's appreciated and people enjoy their time.
For real, you've definitely taken that ethos of each one teach one on that one, definitely. And as I'm a music hoarder myself. I'm exactly the same as you. When you find a track, I'm one of those types of people that will listen to a track, and if I like it, I'll probably repeat it about 10-15 times before I've even finished the whole song. But exactly like it's exactly as you said, though. It's like, it's the same way. It's like when you DJ or you present your art or anything, as soon as you put it out there, it's out there. So you have generally the fears of if someone's going to replicate what it's going to do, or, you know, because of depending on how your connections are, how things are in life, someone might see what you're doing and then get clout off those bits and bobs. I mean, we're in such a different age, and especially when it kind of comes to owning, what you kind of do. However, though, it's having spaces like this and having people like yourself, and even people like me, as I try to do, by giving people this space to have a conversation, get to whatever way. And plus, it for me, it's you're interacting more with a lot more people as well. So it's a lot of it's almost like you're having people walking beside you, or just being able to put a little air underneath your wings. So I definitely would say, for those who are aware of it, and now more people will become aware of it, is definitely appreciated. And I think it's like, because even you're working with someone with the architecture. Sorry, that's basically Russell Royer, is it the architect that's supposed to be building it, and also invites NAVA London, I believe, or LDN, so for the NAVA Café and such. So how did that? So you see what I'm saying, like how your connections work? You're now working with architects and stuff. So,
you know what?
School
like
me.
working, I'll throw it all out. Working with Russell is a dream. I actually used to dance with Russell. So back in the days, like maybe 10 years ago, we were both part of the same dance company. And as you do, you go off on your different paths, but you stay connected in some ways. And Russell is an incredible artist. He's still one of the best dancers that I know, period. He is a really cool architect. And I never worked with him on that side as a designer. So he's really come in and really fulfilling the vision that I have and being quite flexible about it. And it's just been fun, to be honest. Like, it is pure fun. I'm sure it's stressing him out, but on my side, it's really cool. Like, I'm learning things I've never learned before. The amount of maths that goes into building something is absolutely wild and a whole new language to me. But yeah, working with Russ has been a dream, to be honest. And I think it's one of those things, like we were actually in the space the other day and saying that I don't think Sadler's Wells has had something like this yet. And we feel like it could genuinely be a bit of a game changer to bring something like this in and offer a unique space for people to just do what they want in it. And it will act as a collaborative space. Like, we want it to smell good. We want people to feel chill. We want people to enjoy the music that's playing. Like, it's very rare that you get to play your SoundCloud playlist out in public. So I'm good with that, and all of these elements come together. And I think, I think thinking about the things that are in my house is what's important, because that's where NAVA started. So whether it is the element of smell or candles, or what makes it feel like home, is it plants? Is it the way the seating is set up? What is the order of the house? What is the flow? Whilst we've got a tiny space and we have to be very specific on how we can do this, the way Russell's mind works, he's really able to say, well, L'atisse, we can't do that, but we can absolutely create flow this way. And this is what people will get out of the experience. And often when you're designing spaces, that's what it's about. It's what do people want to experience? And we have full control over that. So I'm really thankful that he's come into this process, and I'm really happy to share his creative elements as well.
No, that's amazing. I know I've said that a lot, but no, seriously, because it's like you, as you mentioned before, like the jack of all trades. Because that's not the full saying. I think, if I remember correctly, it's like being a jack of all trades and a master of none oftentimes is better than being a master of one. So that's where it's like you said, it's like, but it's, it's just generational, because if we're going back, like for me, so I don't mind, I'm 36, so going with the generation just before, like, after my dad and my grandparents and such, they had to, they knew that's what they had to do, because their hustle and their need for survival was completely different compared to, like, now our generations going forward, where we now have, you've got actual whole courses dedicated to creativity now, and all of its multifaceted means. But back when I was in college, you can only take like media B Tech or an art B Tech, or these were, it's very kind of like specific. But then it's like yourself, it's like you've got a passion, you've got a vision, and even though you said you're doing it for yourself, I say go girl, do you, like 110%, because at the end of the day, it's the same way with anything we do here at IAmHipHop, or what I work with on high creativity, my own bits. It is about connecting and linking and getting to know other people and encouraging others, and always saying is like, what, all it takes is that first step, and then from that first step, figure out where your journey is. And I think by you taking that time. It's an amazing thing.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing.
And also, I just want to share actually, like, I think there is this whole stigma, and it's kind of something you touched on about like having it all, or like being able to, I think there's this thing that I'm much more aware of now, that we have so much opportunity, but sometimes we don't know that the opportunity is there, or we don't know how to grasp it, or it doesn't feel accessible to us. And I really believe that there is space for everyone. Even if it doesn't feel like it's for you, it might not be that thing that is for you. And sometimes it's very hard to get these things that you want, whatever that is, whether it's a particular lifestyle, whether it's a space for creativity, whether it's an opportunity career-wise or personal. But I do believe there is space for everyone, but it's not always as easy as it seems. And from the outside perspective, I mean, I'm always working great, good times, but the reality is behind the scenes, it is messy and it is hard work and there is minimal sleep. And whilst I look calm and contained on the outside, I'm shriveling up on the inside like it's life. And we all go through it. Like, we all go through it. But I just want to, like, that clarity, like, it's not simple for anyone, but there is space. And I think as long as we understand that there is so much power in collaboration over competition, then we will get there. But at the moment, I do feel like there is a lot of competition, and naturally so, because a lot of us are doing the same thing. A lot of us are doing the same thing, but no one is doing it the same way that you're doing it, which is why there's space for you. So I really feel like that's just something for me, that's something that I take everywhere I go now as a bit of therapy. If I'm ever in a space where I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, or this doesn't feel right, or my parents have this expectation, or my family have this expectation, or people think this of me. It's like, well, actually, what do you feel? What feels right for you? And how can you then move forward with that and create space for yourself? But no one else is going to do it for you, but they will help you if you know what you know what you want.
Yeah, exactly. And it's almost like getting people out of their own way, but it goes back to exactly what you said earlier. It's the fear aspect, because I suppose for maybe definitely for myself, like, even as long as I've been drawing and working on my art, I always have someone to show it to ask, is this okay, does this look so I've never had a problem with sharing what it is I do. Don't get me wrong, like most creators, like you said rightly, is we'll produce you something and you'll be like, oh wow, that's amazing, that looks great, but behind the scenes, like you said, it's the little sleep, it's the excessive hours, the fact of you blink and you haven't eaten, to when you're so dedicated into what it is you're doing. But that's the beauty of creativity, and exactly like you said, it's a fantastic therapy. And even if you're not looking to, you don't have to do these things to become famous or to become known. Just sometimes it's just very, as you said, therapeutic.
That is it. It is therapy. 100% is therapy. And also it just comes with time. You can get used to staying in one set of creation and that will work for you. And sometimes people get to a point where they feel like, actually, I want to try something new, or if this is for me. And I think it's a beautiful thing. That's the good thing about art. You don't have to label or stick in one box. You can actually expand, because from whatever skill that you're doing, you constantly create new things or learn new things. You just probably don't utilize them all the time until the opportunity comes. Like, we don't go into jobs knowing everything. We basically learn on the job 90% of our lives. That's how it works. And it's normal. We just all think we've got it together, but we're all winging it in a really good way. So I think it's a great thing. I think dance is such a collaborative space, and it offers so much opportunity for people to really be themselves. And it's such a weird platform. Like, dance as a platform or dance as an art is such a weird thing, because, not to go into it too much, but I feel like sometimes it's underrepresented. But also, how can you underrepresent something that feels so good for you inside? So it's like a weird thing of what feels good as a career versus what feels good as self-therapy. But even platforms like this are amazing. Like, I love hearing other dancers talk, or other collaboratives within the dance world. There's so much. For me, dance is the foundation of everything. Same way hip hop is the foundation of everything. Both of those things together for me is like the next phase of life. Like, that's all I know. I couldn't have made a film without dance. Even though, kind of going back to that, but even though Utopia has dance in it, it's not a dance film. but it wouldn't have
Yeah.
existed without knowing how to choreograph or without knowing how to create something from dance. So it really is the foundation of, for me anyway, for so many things.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they also, I remember reading in this this DJ book back when I used to work in HMV, and one of the first, and I think it was like the first paragraphs or the introduction, and basically said like DJs are effectively digital shamans, because you know when we used to sit around a fire, be on the drums, like you said, dancing, people just not even really even just, you could call it singing, but most times just chanting or just, you know, screaming and feeling free, but effectively that's what we've done, just modernized, you know. So, and it's and like it's covered. It's how you want to go about it, I think, is the best thing. But like I say with anyone, give it a try. You have nothing really to lose. I'm not asking you to perform in front of 10,000 people on your first go, you know?
Yeah, and you know what? So many oh sorry, no, go on.
No, go. You talk, go. I'm listening.
No, I was just going to say, as you was
please.
talking about DJs, so many dancers are moving into DJing now, and it just makes sense. Like me and my partner, we always talk about it because we're saying, yeah, well, the way you listen to music, the way a dancer hears music, it's natural. And if you've got that rhythm in your body as a dancer or not as a dancer anyway, but especially as a dancer, you can just kind of count, find the beat, and then figure it out from there. Yes, okay, there's a whole process that goes with it. Like, guys, it's not that easy, just putting it out there. But you know, like it does actually set pace.
So right. Yeah, it does. So like you could count the beats, which is fantastic, but there's is it the right keys or the right tone? Is it but I love it. It's challenging, but it's,
can you bring a track in on time? That is my thing. I'm like, come on, L'atisse, bring it in on time.
But you know what, sometimes as well, like I have to honestly say, it's like when I DJ in my bedroom, it's a completely different experience when I'm DJing outside, because there's so many things that can happen, which I've done sometimes. Sometimes you accidentally play a track twice, because you know, obviously working on DJ controllers and we're not using vinyl these days. So it's like, but then it's also to the case of like, even if you're then trying to bring something in time, you don't know if the crowd is even feeling that song, so you have to quickly cut it out to something else. So it's like it's a whole thing. But the reality is like when you look on the other side of those decks and you're seeing people enjoying themselves, singing along to their favorite songs and feeling, you know, just free for that moment in time, and that's the gift that you present to yourself and present to them. But then exactly like you're saying, even with dance, because b-boying, big part of hip-hop, you know, that's b-boying is hip-hop as anything, or breaking, should I say, because you know, I don't want to offend anybody or get cancelled, but yeah, breaking in this sense.
It's a whole world.
Because you've because you've worked with breaking, if I'm not mistaken. So that's with John Z and that, who we interviewed a couple weeks back and such, with their bits that they did recently with the breaking convention, because he also mentioned that their Sadler's actually building a brand new building as well, and I think he's looking to like do his breaking courses or hip hop courses aimed for the sort of younger generation and such. So are you going to be getting involved with that as well, with the things that you're doing, considering your relationships with them?
I'm not sure yet, to be honest. I think at the moment I'm just trying to push this and see what happens. I'm very much open.
Right.
This is like a new space for me, moving into a residency. Although I've been here for a while, this is the first time I'll be putting out this work, and also putting out work as a director. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, guess what my sharing would be after the process. So I can't say.
Yeah, so I know it's such a weird question, but I guess I've got to ask. But what are you hoping for when this finally gets to see the light? Everyone gets to see it for that first time. What are you hoping for?
I
told you it's a bit
what
of a weird
am I
one,
hoping for? It is a weird one. I mean, in terms of the films, because obviously the night El Casa is split into compartments. So if I just start with the films, I think for me, the themes that I'm touching on, I hope that they resonate with some people. And whatever they take away from the experience is completely fine. If they didn't like it, if they do like it, amazing. I like it. But I really hope that people, just kind of take away something from it and they can almost educate themselves. I mean, I haven't spoken about it too much, but in Zootopia, some of the themes that you don't necessarily fully see in the film, but for us in the process was looking at domestic violence. It was looking at, body dysmorphia, and also perspective. Like for me, the whole film is genuinely on perspective. Like no one is in the wrong, no one was in the right. And I really hope that reads and gives people an opportunity to, even myself, to just be less judgmental in situations and look at something and go, actually, that's how the child feels, or that's how the parent feels. So yeah, for Zootopia, that's my hope, that everyone takes something from it. And for the rest of the night, I mean, it's just, we're going to be DJing. It's going to be fun. So I think it's just about being open to what you're hearing, and also just, changing the environment of a theatre a little bit and not having it as just a sit down spot, and being able to flow, like you're allowed to move around the space, and there's not a stage. So if you want to come and chill with me, you can, just giving that concept. And I really want to change that a little bit, and offer a bit more of the foundation. So I just hope people have a good time.
Say less, but no, and once again, I just can't wish you enough for the utmost success for this. And like you said, people can walk away from it, because even when you just touched on it, it's like the tones, they're very, it's not so much dark, but it's almost like it's a case of, like, once again, highlighting the importance of mental health, judgmental, because you don't know what someone's struggle is or what they're kind of going through. So it definitely, even from the trailer that we just played a bit earlier, and make sure you check out on Sadler's Wells, La Casa. It's heavy stuff. It's really looked like some real heavy subjects that, once again, like you said, is now being expressed through choreography, and just expression. Like, because even as I'm watching it, like those, I'm not gonna lie, the cast looks serious. Like I'm actually believing they're going through this stuff,
They were.
All I can do is just applaud. Like, you guys have done you've done an amazing job. To shout out to you and the cast, man. Fully. So
thank you so much.
You got this. No, fully. All praises are definitely due to you. Take it. I'll give your flowers now before, I always like that saying, giving your flowers now rather than waiting until later on, So obviously this is a big thing for you. Now you got in the residency, so congratulations. What else is what are you looking for the rest of the year? What is there any other projects or things that you've got going or coming up over the course of the next few months, or 6 months, isn't it, to the end of the year? About that?
Yeah,
6-7 months.
Gosh, we're in the middle of the year. You know what? I really want to develop this work. I've had an incredible time working with the cast, working with the team behind the scenes, and I just want to shout out to my team, because they really are insane. We've just submitted the film, guys. We've just submitted the film, and they really brought this to life. And I think for me now, it's developing this piece of work. We've set the foundation of what comes next. And ideally, I would like to, create a series or create smaller pockets of the film and develop it further. We just haven't got there yet, because we've been working through this one. So yeah, we've actually, one of the films that we'll be showing on the night is like it will be like the first smaller series, which is more of a dance concept. So I would like to spend the next couple months looking at the other characters, the other moments of the film, and developing that. But other than that, to be honest, just DJing and directing, trying to do some really cool things, to be honest. Just enjoy whatever comes and really help build NAVA. We've got a great community, and we usually do loads of around. We're actually doing some different things. Give too much away.
No, that's wicked. Yeah, no. So yeah, like I said, I can't, once again, just hope for nothing but success from this. And I'm interested now. So pulling a little bit away from that, what's some of the most memorable moments you've had during your, your career? I believe the 11-year span that you've been, doing what you love and you enjoy so much. So what's been some of the most memorable moments you can think of?
Oh, they're really random things, but I would definitely say one of them would be studio sessions with, we used to have a group called XXV, which is basically a bunch of mates. And having those studio sessions very quickly became some of the most memorable moments in my life. And we actually did Breaking Convention and did a piece there, which was so much fun, like just dancing with another 6 girls who are all so different but so connected. And we still have a very, very close friendship. So that's definitely been one of my memorable moments. I think definitely this process, being able to direct a full team, to create a film 100% has been the wildest experience. Being able to see, like, this is the first project I've done where I've seen it physically come to life from what exactly it looks like in my head. And obviously, again, I couldn't have done that without the people that I've worked with, without Ben, Zeta, Torbin. Like, that foundation of somebody being able to say, cool, let me see what's in your mind and put it out. I think this has, by far been the highlight, creating. Maybe it's just because I'm in this realm at the moment, but I've had the opportunity to perform with some really beautiful companies and some really great people. Recently, I'd obviously started DJing and I'd started playing out last year, and that's been a highlight for me because it's something I've always wanted to do, but just never done it. So yeah, it's different things for different reasons. Yeah.
No, that's cool. But it just goes to show how talented you are, and also, as a star in the making, or if not already a star already, just, people just need to find where you are exactly. But so, and also, so just before we tie it up, just because from a DJ to another DJ, so how was your first gig, when you first now performing in people? But go through the motions. I'm always interested in that one.
Ooh, you know what, it was good. You know what, I've been surrounded by really supportive people. We also have a friend who runs something called the Midnight Train, and it's literally a whole gang of peeps that just play what they want, and it's so fun. And I got to play there, and it was fun. Obviously I was nervous because I've been practicing at home, and I'm like, oh my god, this sounds so sick, this is gonna sound so good out, oh, am I allowed to play this, got so much swearing, all that kind of stuff. And then also, I was quite nervous midway because I made a small mistake, and then I was like, hey, focus, because if you press the wrong button, it's going to cut out again. But do you know what, I really enjoy it, and I think, again, it's just something I do more for myself, but I do like playing out now, but I haven't got to the point where I need to play for a big crowd and start crowd watching, and that's probably when I'm going to absolutely cry. But for now, it's been good. I do a lot of studio sessions, which I enjoy. I like being around other people and seeing what they play, what they listen to, how they mix things. And I'm lucky enough to live with someone that we basically call him the blend king, because the things that he blends is just unreal. So I've really learned from some of the best people, which I'm still learning, to be honest. So it's been good. And a lot of people around me are learning too. So I don't know when you ever stop becoming a student.
Well, as they say, you're never too old to learn, as they say, and I do, and I definitely believe in that 110%. But also, what's quite good is that you've got that group and connection. It's not like with myself where I had to teach myself essentially, and it was just literally I got the opportunity to. Well, funny enough, it was actually from a house party that got me DJing at Bournemouth, music festival. So. But even then, it's I guess it's exactly the same way with yourself. Like the first time playing at a big, like a tent or a big event, and you're seeing hundreds of people in front of you. Yeah, I get why you freaked out from one little mistake, but because I could tell you I'll be in the same position. But it's once again, it's like you said, we're calm out here. It's panic mode inside. But no, all I will say is I'm sure. I'm sure you'll do absolutely fine. Like, I
Thank
actually
you.
honestly mean that. And I think it's like, don't remember, the crowd is you're the reason why the crowd's there in the first place, is the way that I look at it. And if, depending on where you play, I think you're in a better space, especially by creating these your own spaces, because now you get to listen to the music you want to listen to, or a DJ would want to play, compared to if you are now going to, say, doing like, festivals, or playing out and such, playing to just a general crowd. That's why I go by the Jazzy Jeff rule of 90% is what they want. So that's all of that commercial, the stuff they know, and 10% of what you want.
Yeah.
And also, like, one of the biggest things is blending is essential, I believe, as to be a good DJ, especially when you're doing party mixes and such, or knowing how to drop the next song. But once again, it's like, you don't need to be scratching and doing back, turning around and all of that business when you're just trying to play
No, you
music.
don't
As
need to
much
be
as it's amazing,
backflipping. Just play the track.
yeah,
Yeah, it's fine.
or DJing with your toe, or your foot's all over.
Stop. You know what?
So, yeah,
You're so right, and I love hearing this, because it just reminds me that that's why we have NAVA, because actually I feel like we've actually got so much autonomy around what we want to play, that people actually come here and enjoy it. So they don't know what to expect, but we don't have to worry about what we're playing. Yes, like, we have to crowd watch, and we have to be really mindful and respectful of people in the space, and ensure they're having a good time. But if we're playing slow jam straight for an hour, or if we're playing grime straight for an hour, there's someone enjoying it. There is someone in the space enjoying it, and that means everyone else starts to enjoy it. And I think that's the good thing about what we've done. We've been able to change the rules a little bit, and we don't have the pressure of, you have the pressure of selling out an event, or you have the pressure of delivering and making sure people have a good time. 100%. Like, you have to still play by the rules, but we can bend them a little bit more. And yeah, I hope there's a little bit more space like that, but also I think audiences are becoming more open to different sounds, or more appreciative of hearing, just hearing that Tidra Moses in the club, as opposed to whatever's out now. So
yeah, like, compared to like the Baby or something.
yeah.
And not to knock the Baby, because I'm not gonna lie, like, he's definitely a DJ's best friend when it comes to having floor fillers. Like, I'm not gonna dispute that.
Yeah, he's dope.
So, but this is exactly it. And it's like you said, in the case of people opening up with music, because I'm from a generation where I had a cassette player, a CD man, mini disc, MP3. I've had pretty much most forms of ways of listening to music, right?
I'm not far behind you, by the way, just to let you know.
That's fine.
Early 30s.
But you're probably still, exactly like you said, you'll still remember these things, so it's from that period. But the difference is, say, between, like, say, like myself, yourself, or your partner, or the people that you're working with the NAVA space, is we're crate diggers. And now I call us digital crate diggers, because for me, like, it's crazy. Like, when I might be on YouTube, and this is the only time I appreciate the YouTube algorithm, is sometimes someone's music video will come up as an advert, and I'll then go and follow their music and then add that to my repertoire, because I like that sound. But if you were to say that just a general consensus of people, which I now call the iPod generation, they literally just they take whatever's, like, comes from a certain playlist, or from the stuff they've kind of used to listening to, which is not, I'm not knocking it with people, but that's the reason why I find that when it comes to other artists and other great music, is they don't get that amount of exposure, and it's like more of a struggle for themselves. However, you've still got, people like us who are actually adamant of making sure, like, look, if I'm going to play this for people, because I believe that you need this song in your life. So yeah, man, like, I hope hopefully in the future it'll be more permanent space,
Yeah, I hope so. Like, at the end of the day, like, as you know yourself, like, DJs are educators. Like, that's our job, like, to educate people in the space, and let them hear sounds in different ways that they're used to hearing. And I think if you can do that simply as a DJ, then you've nailed it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't give myself the DJ title yet. I just use it in the artist form, because I'm still getting there. But I like utmost respect to yourself and anyone that's out here playing.
You've played out.
Because
I'm sorry, you've played out.
I know, but I'm still eating my
No, I'm
like
sorry.
humble
No,
pie
you
like a
stop that.
pig.
You play that as soon as. No, do you know what? Because you know what? The reason why I'm doing this is because I need to do this more of myself as well. Because exactly like yourself, because we do so much, we're so multifaceted. There's people feel that we're being too boastful, or aren't you doing a bit too much? So sometimes it kind of in that way. So generally,
Yeah.
I know for myself, I try to be heavily humble with the things that I do. But no, now between one creative to another creative, this is our conversation. You are a DJ, you have played out, you have practiced, you were doing, the art form, you are doing it. So you are a
Thank
DJ.
you.
You can call yourself a junior
Got you.
DJ if you want, but call yourself a DJ
It
going
really is
forward.
that
Yeah.
thing, you know. You're absolutely right. Like it really is that thing of being somebody that's multifaceted. Multifaceted? Oh, am I getting the word right?
Faceted, I
Multi-disciplined,
believe it is.
faceted.
Yeah, whatever. You're just talented, okay?
We're just talented people. Yeah, it is that thing. I don't know for you, but for me, for a while, I did struggle with that. You know, just actually, what am I today? Am I a DJ today? Am I creator today? Am I choreographer today? Am I a human today? Like, what is that thing I want to be today? So now everyone does everything, and the fun thing is there are so many, you know, new DJs, as I said, more female DJs than ever, which is like mind-blowing and amazing. And I think they've always been there, but they just haven't been in the limelight the
Yes.
way that they are.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice to be part of that new generation and, you know, seeing other people just grow. And yeah, just sit in their happy space.
Yeah, for real. We've actually now just finishing off as well. So thanks very much for your time. But you've given me an idea that it might actually be worth. I'm sure there already are spaces like this, but it might be worth actually trying to create a DJ. Maybe like obviously we'll start local, but try and make it international. But an actual collective of DJs similar to us, where we can actually still have that communication, know what we're playing, what kind of new songs are kind of about, share tips, tricks, but also getting together and try to hosting events. Now is exactly, we're in a space where things are easing up a lot more, so we can actually now start to do something very similar to you, but more in a sense of just people just come out to listen to dope music. And I think that's why I really want you to just push with this like hella, because I believe that what you've got here, especially as you said, like people's ears are opening up more, and the younger generations are actually now a bit more interested in a lot more different sounds compared to the ones before and such. So I think pushing that as well, I want to see this succeed. Like I literally, from the bottom of my heart, this isn't me just talking gas, like, and anyone who's listens to the pod knows me very well, but yes, this is something that is so needed, and I just can't thank you enough for it, man. For real, I'm actually gonna actively try and get my backside down there on those days and such. If I can't, unfortunately, but I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on what you guys are doing.
Thank you. We're always going to be sharing in some way, like, whether it's online or mainly in person, but, where we can, we'll do events. We don't like to overexhaust people because we're not just a regular rave that happens all the time. But yeah, if that's your thing and you love new sounds, new music, and just want to learn stuff, then Midnight Train, they do really cool nights where you can just sit in it. NAVA, obviously we do that. We have a radio. I should have put that out. If you want to hear what we actually listening to, like, we do have a radio on SoundCloud called NAVA Radio. And yeah, like, we're always down. And I think just share music. It's not that hard. Like, we do it in our collective. Like, we have our collective. We share music. We share resources. We share whatever we like. It could just be an interview or something. And it's just really a bunch of friends just sharing what they like. Sometimes it's movies, whatever it could be. And we just need more of that. Like, it's nice to know what other people are into, because you never know what you might like that they have. So, yeah.
Preach. That's what I'm saying. Preach. But L'atisse, thanks very much for your your time today in the conversation. It's absolutely lovely to meet you and get to know you a lot more. So make sure you go check out La CASA and also the NAVA Café, and that's down at Sadler's Wells, and it's from Tuesday the 17th to the 20th of May, but the viewings on the 19th and the 20th of May.
So the cafe's on the 18th now. So it's free from the
It's on the
18th to the
18th.
20th if you
Oh,
go
I
to the
said
cafe. Yeah.
it's the 18th to 20th. Okay, so perfect. So don't end up there on the 17th unless you want to camp outside. Wouldn't kind of suggest it. London ain't kind of safe like that. But outside of that, like go check out the show, and also just man. Well, we'll add all your links in the description. So, and also to the link to the SoundCloud as well.
Thank you so much for having me.
Other than that,
You're amazing.